Look, we are very excited. I think the players and everyone, at the club have worked extremely hard. Obviously, you always need the results, otherwise it's in vain. And I thought the players last season did, fantastic. I mean, the results speak by itself. And look, achieve the 4 titles was unique for our club. And after that, you still have to put a lot of work, in behind the scenes. And we have, a fantastic group of people that works very hard, to achieve what we want to achieve. And to be honest, the time went by very fast, So now we right almost, there. Our biggest game so far, which is tomorrow. So we're all very confident, happy and ready to go, I believe. Yeah, look, taking into account that we started the preseason, because, we can't forget that that's preseason for us. We started on the 4th of January, so the players just had 1 month off after probably it's the longest season ever for our club, and having the game in the Clubs World Cup always give an extra motivation to the players, but we can't forget that, they just started actually. We're always addressing the fact that we're going to have just 18 contacts on the pitch, because you have to rest, you have pre-match game training sessions, so you cannot always train at high intensity. And we're talking to the players the other day, and the numbers that we saw on the GPA units have been amazing. That tells you that the players want to be here, they're ready to do it, and it always takes few weeks to evolve, to get at your best, and that's why I thought we saw that evolution, and the Barça B was the best example of it. You had the first game against Reus after 48 hours landing. We knew that was going to be very hard. That's why we put it there, because they have to get used to these standards. So we made it very hard for them, and I thought they did very well. Obviously, very hard game. Then we could see the progression and the improvement against the Jeonbuk, the Korean team, where we were very more organized after a few weeks, on camp. And then the pinnacle was Barça B. That was probably the game that we're aiming for prior to the Clubs World Cup against Ahly. So it's what you see our players at their best so far, and obviously we drew. Hopefully we can get the victory on the next game, which is tomorrow. Yeah, that was a big. We knew that we needed desperately a camp like this. We have a lot of experience as a club going to the Clubs World Cup, and we made the errors that a lot of teams made as well. So it's how you learn, and we knew that a friendly game was a must-have, and actually, being able to go to Spain gave us a chance to have not 1 or 2, actually 3 friendly games against the top teams, very hard games, and it's what you need. You can't replicate the intensity that you're going to encounter tomorrow. Just the only way is to play friendly games with a real opposition, and we're extremely, lucky and honored and pleased to have played these games. Against Barça B, to me, is the test, the number 1 test, because they're right in the middle of the season, exactly the same as Ahly. They were very fit, very sharp, and the only way to replicate that again is to play friendly games. So I think without that, I don't think we would have had any chance to compete against Ahly. So now we're in the right space, mentally and physically. So I think the preparation and the camp in Barcelona has been spot on. My biggest concern is that, and what I'm saying to the players, that they have to believe they can do it. I've been lucky enough to be in different Clubs World Cup before as a player myself, and what you learn quickly is that if you don't have belief, it's impossible. It's one-off game. Would be a different story if we had to compete 20 games league, because it's an off-season period for us. But one-off game, you could see that in the World Cup, a lot of teams upsetting a lot of teams. It's not such a thing as an underdog and favorites. Yeah, theoretically and on the newspaper it is, but really one-off game, everyone knows that everything is possible, everything. So to me, the main concern is that the players have to believe that we can do it. If we believe, we have a lot of chance to have a positive result. And I think they do. But again, different stories in the game day. Still believing that you can do it. That's the main thing. You can achieve a lot of things that you probably don't imagine. Yeah, the day prior to the game is always the one that, the players probably can feel that the time is there. It's not helpful to be overexcited or nervous, you're always going to have butterflies. That's the reality, and that's actually positive to have, because that means that you care about what you're doing. But to add extra, motivation doesn't help. It can't be extra motivated. That's the nature of the game, and you can tell. I think the players in the squad is having the right amount of, excitement and calm, I would say. You got to find that right balance. And I think we have that. We got to just train again tonight, and then, do the basics, and, feeling the sensations, feel that you're in the right space and that you had the best possible preparation. That's the best way to prepare for tomorrow's game. Yeah, in that regard, we're going to encounter a game where externally everyone says that Ahly obviously are the favourites, and I like that. I believe on paper they're the favourite ones, because mainly the fact that they've been playing 15 competitive games gives them an advantage. That's a reality. We know that. But we're coming from New Zealand, where we are normally the favourite ones. And sometimes to be the underdog can play in your favour if you know how to use that. And I think it's something that we can utilise in our favour tomorrow game. It's a huge club now in Egypt, but in Africa as well. They have players with, massive CV, nationally, internationally. And the crowd, I'm sure, is going to push a lot for them. So, the extra pressure they're going to be carrying on their shoulders, if you don't really know how to deal with it, sometimes can affect you. So it's another extra element that we have to take into account. We're going to be very comfortable not being the favorite at that time. We don't mind. We like it. Why not? You have to be very flexible. And I think this squad and these players, they've been showing throughout that how flexible they can be, and they adapt to every circumstances, and that's a key element to play in this game. So I think we give them the label of favourites who like that. Behind the closed doors, we don't going to be acting as an underdog, that's for sure. We let the other ones label this, and we just have to be humble and believe in our game plan, believe in what we can do, and hopefully we have a good game. Yeah, Emi today is a very special player. I always say that football, there's not coincidences, so for someone like him, achieving what he has achieved is not a luck thing, isn't a coincidence. He deserves that thoroughly. He works extremely hard off the pitch. He's a great professional. I've been lucky enough to know him for a long time. I still remember when he first got to Auckland City, his evolution, it's been extraordinary, probably the best one I've seen in any Auckland City player, coming from Wellington, adapting to the style of football at Auckland City is not easy, and becoming, the most important, I would say, goal scorer in the history of Auckland City is unique. We're very lucky to have him in our squad. He's someone that, that has got that influence in the game, and it's impossible to find, it's impossible to coach. I believe you either have it or not. It's a sort of that is within yourself, and as much as you, as a coach, you want to coach that to the other players, it's impossible. You see that it's a unique player. It's a player that in the big games always turns up, and that's another thing that is hard to find. And he's got that, under pressure always lifts, and that's a unique player, And we have the player, if he plays tomorrow, I'm sure he's going to play. To have the 8th appearance, the only player in the world, makes us very proud, because he's with us. I'm sure he could have gone to different places, and he's chosen to be here with us. And I know everyone looks up to him, and I'm very happy for him. He's someone that I really admire, and hopefully he can have more Clubs World Cup. Yeah, definitely. We all could see the welcome that we had once we landed in Morocco. It's a nation that loves football. You can, embrace that and breathe in every corner of the hotel, where everyone, the workers, taking photos with the players. And they always have a word of encouragement for us. And they're very supportive, they're very warmth. You can embody, how they feel football. And I believe, having that label of the underdog team, I believe we're going to have a lot of supporters from Morocco. I believe so. They remember us. We remember what it feels like being in Morocco, and I would love to have a lot of supporters from Morocco, helping us, because we're going to need a lot of help. I think we like them a lot, They like New Zealand. They like Auckland City. the hospitality that we've have encountered is something unique. It's been always like this. It's not surprising to me, but it's always very, very nice to see again. So hopefully we can have a lot of supporters, because I believe that Ahly are going to bring a lot of Egyptian supporters. So hopefully, we can have that support, the extra thing that always helps. And I believe we're going to have that. It's a fantastic people that love football, and we're going to try to make them proud as well. Look, I think that what I always say to the players, if you are involved in the game that you love, which is football, the only and the best way to be involved in it is just as a player. If you are good enough to play the game, and it's the best part of the game. Being able to be on the grass and dictate the events in the game as a player is unique, is the best. It doesn't last long, because at the end of the day, after 30, if lucky, like Tangier Water, they can play until the 39, but that's unheard of, and the pressure is, I would say, the same. I don't feel more pressure now that I'm a coach. But I'm very jealous of the players. I keep telling them there, where we train now, it's fantastic, it's unique. The grass it feels like a carpet, you have everything you need. And to be honest, I would love to be there with them. And only thing I can do now is to help them to have the best possible game. And what they have to do is to enjoy the game. It's how you perform better. Obviously, they're going to be a bit nervous. Butterflies, that's normal. After 10 minutes, they're going to be themselves. And that's what's going to happen. So to me, the best way to be involved in the game is to be the footballer. If you really like the game, it's unique. But again, hopefully I can help them to have the best game possible, because it's going to be unforgettable. It's a unique experience. So hopefully tomorrow they have a fantastic game. Look, easy to say now. Tomorrow when you get into the bus heading off to the stadium is when you start feeling, that the time has come, and it's when you start, visualizing what's going to happen in the game. Now you can think a little bit of it, how you're going to feel, how you're going to see it. But the reality is that when you're there, that's a different story, and it's going to happen to the players. I believe I'm going to be calm, to be honest. Again, easy to say now, but I believe so. Because once the game starts, it's not much I can do, me and the coaching staff. It's probably everything has been dished out for the players, and again to see what's happening in the game. I had a very good advice. Actually, it was yesterday from Ramon Tribulech, which I asked if you could give me any advice. You'd have in the Clubs World Cup many times, and he said that trying to be calm, because it's the best way to spot and observe what's happening. So it's the best way to help the players. So if you're very nervous and hard to observe, so I'm going to try to be very calm and see what's happening, and hopefully everything that we plan for goes our way. And again, we're going to try to be flexible, adapt if we need to, and it's just 90 minutes. It goes by very fast, so we have to make the most of it. No, not much. Look, I know we're going to have a lot of support, the clubhouse, people that are supporting Auckland City, everyone back home, hopefully as well in New Zealand, because we're not just representing Auckland City, we're representing New Zealand, I believe. I also believe we then sometimes get the the exposure and repercussion that I believe we deserve sometimes. What the players have done, it's unique, and they deserve to be here. So hopefully we can feel the support, and everyone helping us out, from far away. And again, people from Morocco, we love the people in Morocco. We have fond memories every time we come here. So hopefully we have a lot of local people wearing the Auckland City shirts and scarves, and they can chant our goals. So hopefully we have a big crowd in our back.